What's up, guys? It's Gabe with Nerdtech. I'm going to show you how to set up your account from scratch. So let's dive right on into it. First thing you're going to want to do, I just want to remind you that when you do sign up for an account with me, you will need to go into your settings here first thing, go into plan and billing, and choose one of the plans that we agreed to. And this is just an example plans that I have here. And then after that, you can go back over here to assistance, and then we're going to jump right into creating our first assistance. So let's create from scratch. Let's do inbound. All right, now you're going to start on a screen here with some general settings. First, you're going to want to name your assistant. So let's call this Nerdtech Inbound. You can upload a photo if you'd like. Now, SynthFlow has a new updated voice engine, and so you're going to see 1.0 and 2.0. They are eventually going to phase out the 1.0 version. They're keeping it just in case they have any issues, so we'll leave it on 2.0 for now. The AI model is going to be ChatGPT 4.0, which is recommended. That's the best one. You can add in custom vocabulary, or if you need to filter out words for compliance reasons. The next thing, we're going to click on the Voice tab. Inside the Voice tab, we'll see the first thing we can choose is our style of voice here. So if we clicked on Edit, we would actually be able to choose from a plethora of voices. Let's see here they are. They just took a minute to load. You can see there's several voices here. You can choose by male, female, default voices. You can even import a voice. You could clone your own voice. I typically go with Bria, or I do like, let's see here, if we go on the default voices here, click on female, let's see, I'm not seeing her, maybe I missed it. Oh, it's because she's already selected, that's why. It's the Natasha Valley girl. That's the other one. It actually defaults that one. I think that's one of the best ones to use. Okay, moving on, the patience level, we have low, medium, and high. And this is to help reduce over talking. So if you're finding that the AI is interrupting too much, you might want to slow her down by putting on medium or high. That's going to just increase a little bit more lag in between sentences, so there's less over talking. Now, when it comes to style or stability, style exaggeration, similarity, and voice speed, be careful not to adjust these too much. The defaults work pretty well. Fade out interruption is when there is interruption. It's kind of similar to the patience level where this will create lag. This actually does a fade out, so it sounds a little bit more natural. Optimize latency, I typically put this on 1, and you can read here what that does. It improves things just a little bit. And on voice prompting, my preferred, I typically use she's, and I will usually put friendly and patient. And I find that that works pretty well, but experiment with adding some other prompting there. I would recommend only using 2 or 3 words. Now on the next tab, we have the call configuration. There is a new feature now with background noise. You can have either office or cafe. I'm going to leave that off for now. For inbound, I typically do about a 2-second pause before speaking. I find that sometimes with an internet call, if the connection happens, and she starts speaking right away, sometimes that first part's cut off, so a little delay improves that. Ring duration, I typically for inbound will make that about 2 or 3 seconds. Max idle duration, it'll automatically disconnect if maybe what's happened before, somebody picks up the phone because it's in the back seat of their pants and maybe they sit on it, it answers, and so if they're not speaking but there's idle, this will idle out after so many seconds there, so you can set that. And then we have idle reminders. I typically set this on 8, and basically after 8 seconds of not hearing anything, the AI is going to come in and say, hey, I'm still here. Do you have any questions, to try to engage them? And of course, if it continues to say this and then it goes to the max idle duration, then it'll hang up. I typically do not turn on speaker boost. I found that it has created more lag. The enable recordings I always turn on so that I can review my calls, and limit call duration. Unless I'm setting this up for demos, I typically don't limit the call duration as well. So I typically leave that off. Okay, Now going over to the prompt. At the beginning here, we have the custom greeting. So this is the first thing that's going to be said by the AI when it answers the phone. So we had a 2-second delay. It's going to ring, ring. There's going to be a slight delay on this inbound call, and then it's going to say this phrase up here. So let's see here. You've called. We'll change this to Nerdtech. One little tip, if you're doing something like AI, like I just did there, if you do A-I, it says it better. If I ran it all together, there are times where it could say like, and try to mush it together. So this will tell it to say each letter individually. How may I assist you today? I'll just leave that as it is. And then right down here in your prompt, it always comes with a default prompt to kind of help you get started. You can also explore the templates. And then we have Ask Copilot, which uses their own ChatGPT-like AI to chat back and forth with you to help you with your prompt to build that. Now I have a Word document and I'm happy to share it with you. It has a basic outline of a prompt that I like to use. So I'm just going to go ahead and click Edit. I'm going to select all, delete this general prompt here, go off screen here to my Word document and add in this prompt here. All right, now let's take a look at it real quick. Now this is just some framework here, so it's not filled out completely. So on my prompt, I have a section called Role. I have a section called Tone to Use. This kind of helps improve the way I like it to speak. We have instructions on objective handling. We have instructions if it's asked if it's AI. I like to include that. We have instructions if they ask about costs. Many times when people are inquiring or it's an inbound call, they typically are asking about costs, so you want to have an answer for that. And then we have a section to tell it what to do for booking appointments. If you don't have a calendar that you're connecting, you can delete this section. Now the script instructions is going to tell the AI how to talk on the phone and what we want to start with first. So this is just a real rough outline, but basically you can start to tell it, you're going to have a friendly introduction, remind them why you're reaching out, So whatever you're wanting to gather on this call, you're going to start listing it out in the script instructions there. And then below the script instructions, we have important information, and we have information about the company, name, location, phone number. Maybe you want to give some general, about the company, so the AI has some information on that as well. Target audience is not 100% necessary unless it's an outbound call, and to just help the AI understand who it's possibly talking to. Let's go ahead and delete that one. Value proposition tells the AI what's special about your company. Listing out hours of operation is definitely helpful, especially for inbound calls. Many people will ask that as well. And then we have a section we could fill out about specific information about services and common questions and answers, so it understands how it should answer questions. Keep in mind, if there's something in the prompt that is left out and you hear a mistake happen on the call, it's quite possible that all you need to do is add it in the prompt. If the AI does not have the information, it's just going to make it up. So let me show you how we can use this and kind of speed up the process. I'm going to select all this and copy it. And I'm going to go over here to ChatGPT. And then I'm going to, we're going to just use my website as an example. So we'll copy my website link here. We're going to tell ChatGPT some instructions here. You are going to be a pro about this company. And it's going to visit the website and gather some information about that. And I'm going to say, now we are going to use this info to build an AI voice prompt using this layout. And then I'm going to paste the layout. Oops. We're going to paste the layout that I copied, add that. It's going to rewrite this entire prompt with relevant information about my company. So you can see it's for Nerdtech AI. It's making up an objective here, telling it a tone to use, objective handling instructions, fast. It's rewriting all of this, fast about costs. All right, now here's where it really starts working, where it's not just making, this is where it's coming up with a pretty good script instructions, coming up with an introduction, asking if they have time to chat, giving a brief overview of our services, asking them some qualifying questions, determining if they have questions and booking a call, confirming details, full name, email address, time zone, summarizing booking details, and conclude the call. So they did a really good job giving us some good bones here to work with. This is going to really help speed up the process. And you can see here, it found, based on my website, the location, phone number, about the company, value proposition, hours of operation. This is a really good starting point. Now, if you want it to be more in the output where you saw the hashtags, which from my experience tends to copy better, I'm going to say, this is great. Now I'll put this in Markdown. Markdown is just a coding format that is a lot easier to copy and paste. If I were to copy all this and paste it in, I'd get the information there, but the bullets, the spacing, all that stuff's not going to copy over very nicely. So let's see here. Wait for this to finish up. Almost done. Get the important company information. All right, there we go. I think that's all. Let me check. Hours of operation. Yep, so all I got to do now is go up here to the top, click copy code, go back over to our Synthflow account, paste it in here, and then there you can see it has all the markdown and it's formatted correctly. So we can save that. And then the next thing I'd want to do is connect my phone number, put in my name and my number, and then do a test call to see how I like this. And then I would continue testing and tweaking it until I have it just how I like it. Be sure when you test it, you try different ways. Maybe you try saying wrong number. Well, that would be for outbound call. If you're testing this for inbound, you might want to try, testing it in different ways. Maybe you want to make sure it answers about pricing correctly, or maybe there's certain FAQs that people ask about your business and you want to make sure it answers that appropriately. Just make sure you have FAQs in the important information. You could even make a whole new section called FAQs if you have a lot of them, and then it'll be able to answer any questions about your business exactly how you would want. So test it quite a bit. That's the next step that I would do. Under deployment here, this is where you'll see your phone number show up after you connect your Twilio account. And then the webhook is how we connect it to Go High Level, which I'm going to show in the next video. The calls is going to be a history when you actually start making calls. And one last thing I want to show on this video, since it's part of the setup, speaking of Twilio numbers, you're going to click on integrations right here. And under Twilio account, you're going to put in your Twilio SID and auth token and save that. And then once you do that, you'll be able to go back into your assistant under deployment and see those phone numbers show up right here from your Twilio account. So that is the initial steps to setting up your first agent. That was an inbound. It's very similar, pretty much the exact same steps to do outbound. And I hope that helps you get started.